Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1135, and today's date is November 23rd, 2016, and the title of the episode is The Current Economic Collapse News Brief. Now, before I get started, I just want to make two announcements. The first one, I just want to wish those people who are celebrating Thanksgiving have a very happy Thanksgiving. And I am very grateful, and I thank all of you for listening to the X22 Report and the X22 Report Spotlight. My other announcement is I started a new channel. It is called X22 Report News Flash. These are 3-minute segments of just what's happening during the day. I put up either 2, 3, maybe even 4 during the day, and these are just flashes of news, and they concentrate on one story. To see that channel, you can just go to YouTube and type in X22 Report News Flash, or you can go to the X22 Report or the X22 Report Spotlight YouTube channels, and you'll see the icon for the new channel on the right-hand side where it says Featured Channels. And there will be no report on Thanksgiving. I will continue on Friday with a news brief. There'll be another news brief on Sunday, and when Monday comes along, we'll be back to our normal schedule. Again, everyone have a very happy Thanksgiving. Let's get right into the economic collapse news. Now, as we approach this holiday season, I notice the corporate media is trying to play down why Black Friday, Cyber Monday is not going to be as strong as they would like it to be. And they're saying, well, the reason for that is because they're having a lot more sales ahead of time, and people are not looking at Black Friday or Cyber Monday as the big sale days. And coming out of the National Retail Federation data, the number of Thanksgiving weekend shoppers actually has fallen by nearly a third in just about 3 years to about 102 million in 2015 from 147 million in 2012. And it's partly due to people shopping on the internet, but that's not it. Many people are not going out and shopping. Many people are holding back a little bit, and we can see right now that Black Friday, they've already started this year by pushing sales away ahead of time, and it is kind of backfiring right now because 63% of adults that are polled saying that they didn't plan to go shopping on Black Friday. They're not really planning to go crazy on Cyber Monday. They'll just be doing their everyday shopping throughout the holiday season, and they're going to reduce the number of gifts that they are purchasing. And what they also stated was that they realized that there's no reason to go out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday because they realized as we approach Christmas, retailers become very desperate, and they even give deeper discounts between 30 or 40% as we approach the Christmas season. So, and this is coming from market track data. And we can see right now that this holiday season, the stores, they're going to do whatever they possibly can to try to drive these sales up. And we can see right now that it's not headed in that direction. Even if the corporate media comes out with their retail numbers, again, we discussed what retail numbers and how they use them and what they do to manipulate them. We can't even believe those numbers anymore, just like we can't believe the unemployment numbers, just like we can't believe the GDP numbers, because they're always in there manipulating, massaging them, and creating these numbers to support their narrative that this economy is improving. We see durable goods. Well, they're out there saying that, wow, durable goods just surged. It's unbelievable. And it looks like durable goods and everything, the economy is doing fantastic. But when we break it down, what we see is there were a lot of orders due to military spending on aircrafts. Core durable orders, they dropped. This is the 15th straight month that they have tumbled. So if you subtract the orders from the military for aircraft, we can see that core capital goods shipments have declined. They have not improved. We see that new home sales, well, that number has tumbled to 563,000 from a pre-revised 593,000. It completely missed expectations. This was the weakest new home sales print going back to the 558,000 new homes sold in the month of June. And actually, the month of June, July, and August, this is supposed to be the hot time for real estate. And we can see a lot of the data was revised once again. And we go back to September, it was revised down lower to make this month look a lot better. And we can see right now with mortgage rates creeping up, applications falling, new home sales not going anywhere, we're running into a major problem. And if you really look at the real estate market over time since the Great Recession, it really hasn't gone anywhere. It has never reached the same heights as it was before. Actually, it's more than half than when it was back previous to 2008. And we can see right now that home ownership is at its lowest point. We see gold that was smashed down today, sending gold down below $1,200 per ounce. What was the cause of this? Well, 50,000 contracts were dumped around 8:25 Eastern Standard Time, and it brought gold down dramatically. Why did this happen? Well, we can see a lot of things occurring at the same time. Remember, right now Obama is still in office. He wants the economy looking fantastic. Gold right now is suppressed. People are thinking, whoa, the economy's doing well. He had the surge in GDP. Unemployment came down to 4.9%. The stock market moved above 19,000 points, and everything looks great. Then the Fed came out today with their meeting minutes, and they are saying that, yes, we are going to raise the interest rates come December. Why are they doing this? Well, they've been talking about it this entire year, and they have to do something, because if they don't, their credibility is going to be a huge issue. And the other reason we can see that they're doing this, and we've talked about this many times, if we saw the Fed move interest rates up just a little bit, this is a signal that they're preparing for the entire system to come down. They want the American people, the world, to see that they have created an economy that is completely recovered, that everything is fine. And once they have that narrative, that story, they will then bring down the economy. And they're going to do it before Obama leaves office. And that's why most likely they will raise the interest rates come December. We see that Trump, well, he's out there saying that he is not going to prosecute Hillary Clinton for her illegal use of private email server during her time as Secretary of State. Now, I know during his campaign, he was out there saying that he's going to hold her accountable for everything that she's done, that he's going to put her in jail. But what we need to understand is that he is looking at the situation right now, and as president, he really shouldn't be the one prosecuting Hillary. So he's looking very presidential right now, saying, you know something, I'm going to step away. This is not what I'm here for. And actually, it's a strategic plan. Because remember, he just said, okay, I would like Jeffrey Sessions to be the Attorney General, and he can have Jeffrey Sessions go ahead and start an investigation and prosecute Hillary, and it won't look political. And we can see right now, this most likely is his plan. I mean, we'll have to watch it carefully if this is how it turns out, but we can see that this is one of the reasons why he's stepping away and letting the Attorney General do this, so it looks like it's not politically motivated or influenced. But the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, he can go ahead and do the investigation. He can go ahead and find out the truth. He can go ahead and see what is going on there and bring charges against Hillary. But again, we'll have to watch this to see how this turns out. We see right now the Electoral College is going to meet on December 19th. They're going to cast their votes. We know a lot of the Electoral College members, the electors, have been threatened to switch their votes. And we can see that a group of prominent computer scientists and election lawyers are urging the Clinton campaign to call for a recount in 3 swing states. They're saying that they found persuasive evidence of vote hacking. The group, which includes voting right attorney John Bonifaz and J. Alex Halderman, the director of the University of Michigan Center for Computer Security and Society, believes they found persuasive evidence that results in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania may have been manipulated or hacked. And what they found is that Clinton received 7% fewer votes in counties that relied on electronic voting machines compared with counties that used optical scanners and paper ballots. And they're saying that Clinton was denied around 30,000 votes. And you have to remember she lost in Wisconsin by 27,000 votes. So they're looking at this saying, oh, if we can get these votes back, she'll have that state. Now, one thing that we need to point out here is that the group has not found any type of proof of hacking or manipulation. They're arguing to the campaign that there's a suspicious pattern, which is kind of strange because I thought there was no manipulation according to Obama. But here they are trying to convince everyone that something went wrong. And by the way, Trump won at least 80% of the nation. Now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to have these states flipped before December 19th because they're running out of time. They're trying to push the idea that Hillary has a chance of turning these states and maybe even tying Trump or getting more electoral votes. And this is what they're trying to do right now. And we'll have to see how this turns out. Most likely nothing will happen, but they're going to try to push this idea as far as they possibly can. Now, we know Obama is reaching he's reaching the end of his term. And we can see right now that during this period, he is pardoning a lot of criminals right now. Obama reaches 1,000 commuted prison sentences. He has shortened more jail term than his 11 predecessors put together, and he is continually doing this. Now, of course, he came out and said he couldn't pardon Edward Snowden, but we know this is fake, phony, and false because we know that Ford pardoned Nixon. He never went to trial. He was never indicted. We know that Obama pardoned 3 Iranians who never went to court. So what he's saying is not really true in reference to Edward Snowden, where he's saying that he can't pardon him until he goes to court. We see Angela Merkel is out there running for her 4th term, and she is looking at the situation in the United States, and she's using the same propaganda that there's a problem with the news, the fake news out there, and it might affect the elections. And she's out there telling everyone that, yes, there could be a problem, and they have things in place to censor the fake news. Now, once again, what is the fake news? Whatever the government deems to be fake news. And she is out there saying that we have fake sites, bots, trolls, things that regenerate themselves, and things that put out complete and utter fake news, which doesn't go along with the establishment. And Merkel essentially suggested that the time for censorship has come. We must confront this phenomenon and, if necessary, regulate it. And this is really what they want. This is why they're pushing the idea of fake news so much right now, because they want censorship. They want to get rid of that pesky alternative news. They only want one source of news so they can keep control of the flow of information. Now, the DHS Inspector General, he is reporting that 200,000 green cards have completely vanished. They've just gone missing, and they don't know where they are. And they're saying that the green cards may enable terrorists, criminals, undocumented aliens to remain in the United States, and this could be a huge problem. And most likely, when they allowed the illegals in, when they jumped over the border, we know the border agents couldn't touch them, and then they transferred them to many of the different cities around the United States. Most likely, they probably gave them green cards. So this way, they are protected. And we can see right now that this was their plan all along, to keep these illegals in the country. We see something very interesting happening with regards to Syria right now. We know that Trump is moving into office. We know that he's been speaking to Putin to calm the situation down. We know the deep state, the shadow government, the central bankers, they want war with Russia. They want Syria. They're not going to give up on their goals. So they did something to kind of trap Trump into a war escalation in Syria. The House rushed through a resolution promoting a U.S.-imposed no-fly zone. On November 15th, 1 week after the U.S. elections, the Congress, the lame duck Congress, convened in special session with normal rules suspended so the House could pass Resolution 5732. This is the Caesar Syria Civilian Protection Act. And remember, Caesar was this fake individual that was showing Congress these photographs of gassed people, tortured people. And again, these were just photographs. No one knows where they really came from. No one knows where they were taken. Most of them were taken in a hospital. But again, there was no proof of what all this was about. There were no links. And we see right now that this bill, 5732, that will impose a no-fly zone, well, that states that the government of Syria will not be able to fly their planes. Now, of course, the United States just can't go into the country and say, listen, we just passed Resolution 5732, the Senate just passed it, and now, guess what? You can't fly your planes. No, what they're going to have to do, just like they did in Libya, they're going to have to go to each base and bomb the bases, bomb the planes, to get rid of the Air Force. That's how you establish a no-fly zone. This is why Libya really didn't have an Air Force after the U.S. and NATO went into Libya and did this. This is why you saw the burning runways, the burning planes. They completely destroyed Libya. And we can see right now, if they do this, and they actually go through with this, and these neocons, the shadow government, the central bank, they are pushing World War III. And we can see right now that they are still trying to push their goal to overthrow Assad. They are not giving up. And they won't give up. So we'll have to see. Right now, it has passed the House. It is moving to the Senate. And we'll have to watch this very carefully, because if the Senate then passes it, well, guess what? We're going to have major problems here. We see that a security firm, Group IB, well, they're looking at the latest wave of cyber attacks on ATMs. And the group called Cobalt is being blamed for a series of attacks throughout Europe. They planted a malware installed on ATM machines, and they were spitting out cash. It's like a modern-day Robin Hood, stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. But we can see right now that they've done this throughout 14 different countries. Now, what this looks like to me is they're experimenting on how to hit different areas, seeing what they can do with malware. And right now, the FBI is out there warning U.S. banks to be on alert. Now, we've talked about this in the past, where eventually what they will do to cover up everything, to cover up the economic collapse, is to have some type of cyber attack, because you don't have to prove anything. You can just say, yes, it hit the financial institutions, it hit the ATMs, and we have to shut down. And we can see that this is happening in India. It is happening throughout Europe. Russia is warning its people that their banks might be hit during this holiday season. And we can see right now that the United States most likely will try to cyber attack Russia to get a response out of Russia. And to do this, what do you hit? You hit their infrastructure. You hit their financial institutions. You hit them right in the heart to try to get the other country to do something. And we can see right now that all of this is being prepped for the big event. And we can see already with this bill being passed, they are still on track. They're still trying to push war. They have not stopped at all. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.